So they asked the SEAL, what kind of person makes it into the SEALs? And he said the star college athletes who've never really been tested to the core of their being, none of those guys make it through. He says the preening leaders who like to delegate everything, none of those guys make it through. He said these guys that come in with huge hulking muscles covered in tattoos because they want to prove how strong they are, none of those guys make it through. He said some of the guys who make it through are skinny and scrawny. He said some of the guys who make it through, you'll actually see them shivering out of fear. He says, but every guy that makes it through, when they're physically exhausted, when they're emotionally exhausted, somehow, some way, they're able to dig down deep inside themselves to find the energy to help the guy next to them. It's about this incredible level of care and teamwork that makes high-performing teams. And what's so funny is all of the work that I do, I talk about high-performing teams, and yet people try and interpret that to individuals. There's no such thing as a high-performing individual, right? Because we know what they are. They're spotlight rangers. There's these people who, they're the stars, leave me alone. But when push comes to shove, they don't help anybody, and nobody wants to help them. And there are so many of us that have toxic geniuses in our companies. They're so good, but they destroy the performance of everybody else because everybody hates them. And worse is when we know who they are. And we say, why don't you get rid of that person? They're clearly uncoachable. And we go, I know, but their numbers are so good. So all we're promoting, but here's the detriment. Not only are we reinforcing that that person should keep doing what they're doing, we're sending a subtle message to everybody else in our company, which is if you act like them, you'll do well at this company. When we get rid of them, not just because they're difficult people, but they are uncoachable, they've proved themselves to be uncoachable, it sends a message to the rest of the team, which is, I don't care how good your skills are. If you don't work as a team, you don't help each other, you have no place here. And guess what you're going to get?